Hi, this is Amanda from Hammersmith Farm down here in Dennis on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. So today I'm doing a video about riding apparel. Lately on social media, I've been seeing a lot of equestrians, whether they're competing in really high level competitions or it's a little kid having a lesson. I've just been seeing a lot of really expensive riding apparel from head to toe. And this is something that I just really find isn't necessary, especially when you have a kid that's just starting off in riding or a kid that's riding and just growing really quickly like all kids do. So first of all, we'll start with riding boots. So there's no need to spend $400 on a pair of riding boots, especially for a kid. No need whatsoever. Yes, you should be riding in riding boots. They are what's appropriate to ride in based on the sole of the shoe, the heel of the boot. That's what's most comfortable and most safe to ride in. But make sure you don't want to buy the cheapest pair of riding boots because then they're gonna give you blisters and be really hard to break in if you can break them in. You want to get a nice mid-level price range riding boot that's going to be comfortable, that's going to break in, and that you're going to be comfortable riding in. That's the most important thing, is that you're comfortable riding. And if you take care of your boots, they'll last a long time and they'll look new for a really long time, so you won't have to buy another pair and another pair and another pair. If you have a little kid that's riding, you're going to be buying riding boots all the time, especially if they're showing. You're going to be buying a new pair of Paddock Boots every show season. So why would you want to spend $200 on a pair of Paddock Boots when you're going to be buying them every single year? It's not necessary. Get mid-level price range, something that's going to be comfortable, something that's going to break in, and something that you're not going to feel bad giving away or throwing out and buying another pair in a year. Next, riding pants. I always have riding pants on for the most part when I'm riding. It is what's most comfortable. A lot of people ride in leggings. I have ridden in leggings. I don't see a big difference unless you have a really grippy pair of full seat riding pants that you like to wear. But something like jeans isn't so comfortable. Sometimes the inner seam is uncomfortable when you're riding. I've never had a problem wearing jeans, but I know some people that have had problems wearing jeans when they're riding. But riding pants, it's another thing. A lot of the time the inside seams get worn out from rubbing against the saddle. It's something, you're down at the barn, they get stained, they get torn, they get mud and poop and everything else on them. You don't want to be spending, again, $200, $150, $150 on a pair of riding pants that you're just using for around the barn or for hacking or trail riding or lessons. I never spend more than $80, $90 on a pair of riding pants that I'm using for around the barn. Even, I don't compete anymore, but when I was competing, I wouldn't spend more than $125, $150 on a pair of show pants, pretty much because they're just more expensive in general, but you want to always look nicer at shows. Next, shirts. I pretty much never, unless I'm at a show or an event, pretty much never have a riding apparel shirt on. It's always an athletic shirt, athletic tank top, t-shirt, usually something like Under Armour that I got at a store like TJ Maxx or something. Because again, you're at the barn, it's gonna get dirty, it's gonna get smelly, it's gonna get ripped, and you're probably only gonna have it for a year and a half or so. I don't really see the value in riding for looks. I see the value in riding for comfort and being able to take that money that I'd spend on, a $300 pair of riding pants and maybe spend it on getting my horse a really nice pair of splint boots that are really gonna support the horse and really gonna protect it while I'm riding in the ring and or off property. Next, really important that everybody should always have and always ride in is a helmet. Helmets, I hear a lot of people that wanna have their kids in lessons that are wearing Charles Owen helmets and things like that you're gonna be spending upwards of $250, $300, even people spending $400 on a helmet that they're using for a lesson. So if you're getting a good quality helmet, you don't want to spend an outrageous amount of money. I don't really think helmets that have, the dial adjustment system or things like that are necessarily the most protective helmet, so I'd go a step up from that. But you shouldn't be spending more than, again, $80, $90, $100 on a helmet, especially for kids, because if it doesn't have that adjustable system, you're gonna be having to buy helmets again and again as they grow. Anyways, with helmets, you're supposed to replace them 3 to 5 years, so why would you want to be spending $400 every 3 to 5 years on a helmet? You could buy a helmet and 2 weeks later you could fall off and hit your head, and right then and there, you're gonna need a new helmet right away. So yes, it's important to spend the money on a helmet that's really gonna protect your head and keep you safe and meets all the requirements and safety ratings, but there's no need to spend outrageous money on it. It's just not necessary. I think, a good quality pair of riding gloves is always important, so you're not getting blisters, so you can keep nice contact, but I don't see the need to spend a lot of money. We're getting into colder seasons. Most of my jackets are, riding brand jackets because I find them to have more shoulder space and be a little bit more flexible and comfortable to ride in. But again, I don't spend an outrageous amount of money on it. And, in the winter months, for whatever reason, things don't seem to get as dirty. They last a little bit longer, so it's all up to you and what you find comfortable. But what I find comfortable, I don't see a big difference in the comfort level from a pair of riding pants that are $100 and $200. If it's a pair of riding tights, they pretty much all feel the same to me. I mean, obviously everybody has their preferences and brands and things like that, but I just don't see the need, especially with little kids, especially little kids. They want to get dirty. They're in the mud, they're in the dirt, they're rubbing all over the horses, their clothes is gonna get trashed. I know growing up, my clothes down at the barn was always getting trashed. Never made it more than a year between growing and the fact that it was just dirty and stained and ripped, and I mean, that's what barn clothes should look like, because that's what you should look like when you leave the barn. People that get really dressed up to go riding, you're just gonna look dirty by the time you leave the barn. I mean, I just got down to the barn right now, so I look pretty clean, but an hour from now when I'm brushing my horse and riding and tacking and cleaning and doing stalls, I'm not gonna look like this, so I don't wanna be wearing, a pair of riding pants that I spent $200 on when it's gonna have hay stuck in it later from throwing hay down. So that's my little bit about riding apparel and what I think is necessary to spend money on in the price range. And this is leading into our video for tomorrow, which is gonna be about English saddles. And this is something that is really important to spend the money on. We're gonna be talking about the different kinds of English saddles, between schooling saddles, the styles, the fits, and the different price ranges, and the difference between buying a lower level price range saddle and a higher level price range saddle and the benefits of that. So thank you for watching, and tune in tomorrow. Bye.